long and meaningful conversation with John Hackleman yesterday. And we were largely just catching up. We were largely visiting, checking in on one another. But Coach Hackleman had made news the week before, and I never touched it. I never touched it because I didn't know the sincerity of it. And just like we wouldn't hold a fighter to a tough decision or a tough comment made right after a fight. I want to fight George St. Pierre. I'm going to retire. I'm going to Disneyland. Whatever it is, we just wanted to hold them to it. We understand the emotions that are within those moments. But Coach Hackleman made a comment. It was after the Glover fight, and he said, I'm not going to do this again. Talking about coaching, talking about cornering guys. And excuse me, let me be very specific. I was not talking about just coaching and training and helping prepare, teaching younger minds. He was talking about cornering guys, being there in a decision-making role in the corner while a contest is going on. And he went further with the thought, and he said, I'm not going to do it because I thought this fight should have been stopped. I've never been overruled in a corner. If I have ever wanted to stop a fight, that fight was stopped. And whatever dialogue and conversation went on with Coach Hackleman and the other three cornermen, I don't know. And perhaps that's not sensitive. I felt like it was. I didn't even ask him. I was hoping, in all fairness, I was hoping that he would volunteer that. What that conversation like, who overruled him, how he got. We didn't touch on that, but he did say, because of that, I'm not going to do this again. And I understand that. Do you guys have anything like that you can relate to? I do not officiate high school wrestling anymore. I do not officiate it because I was doing a state championship match, Greco-Roman. There was a triple crown on the line for one of the athletes, but there was a championship for both, and a guy was pinned. And it's a split-second decision. I am not a referee. I did not want to be refereeing that match. And the way a lot of times a match, even at the level of a state championship, will work is they have no funding. So you get to the event, and if they want to do the event, they will turn to the crowd and go, who can referee these matches? I know that you're scratching your head going, what? Yeah, that's wrestling in Oregon. That's wrestling everywhere. But now I'm refereeing this match, and the guy was pinned. I knew he was pinned. But I made a hesitation on making the call. I was processing it. In a collegiate situation, it's 1001, 1002 fall. In a freestyle Greco-Roman situation, all his shoulders have to do is touch. But I literally had that conversation with myself. Oh, wait a minute. We're in Greco. We're not in collegiate. I don't need 2 seconds. He's pinned, fall. Didn't call it. Guy got off his back. And the guy that got off his back got up, won the championship, and won the Triple Crown. But there's an incompetence with that. There's something about that was very incompetent. And when they're asking you, can you ref and do you judge it? Even if you don't want to, if you step forward to it, there's something about it. For me, I felt, I can't do this again. I can't do this again. And I share that story because I think that's exactly what Coach Hackleman's going through. I think that's exactly what that was. And, he's got this relationship with Glover. And that goes back, right? The Pit is very famous. You want to be a true historian on this sport, you go look at Chuck Liddell, you look at Glover Teixeira, that's getting passed on. Alex Pierre, all of these great things. But Coach Hackleman said, I've got a job to do. And I have a job that I believe in doing. And for whatever reason, it didn't get done. And I'm not going to do it again. I just thought that was very powerful. I don't think Coach has done anything wrong. Coach is given to this sport to a very high level. And if, in fact, he is going to come off the road, if, in fact, he isn't going to guys' corners, and much like an athlete who calls out St. Pierre or who retires, we give them grace. He is not bound to a decision because he made this comment, but I thought that I would clarify that for you guys. I mean, that made big news. And I know a lot of us didn't quite know the severity of it or even the sincerity of it. Right? Hey, is this a rush? Is this an in-the-moment decision? So I'm helping to clarify that a little bit. Talk to the man himself. He's going to keep training guys. In fact, he was at practice last night. He had to get off the phone call to go and run a practice. It's not about educating. It's not about passing these skills on. It's not about teaching the next generation. But as far as participating in the corner on the night of live events, Coach Hackleman, at least for now, and at least according to him, Coach Hackleman is retired.